Well, we do have a Reddit story for you today. Are you guys excited to hear it?
Sure.
Yes.
All
Sure.
right.
Which one?
How much time did you spend finding it? Or is it just so easy to find crazy, like with barely even looking?
It's not that easy to find really good ones, especially since we're only doing ones that are about moms.
Oh, okay.
I had a bunch and I looked up and I was
you've
just looking
curated some?
I was looking at ones I had already saved. And I'm like, this might be a good
I
one.
thought you just picked one randomly right now, and I'm like, wow, that's...
She prepares, but she doesn't let me see it before.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So it's a raw reaction.
I also have only really skimmed this one. I haven't fully read it, but I thought it would be appropriate since both of us have lived with you after we weren't supposed to.
Post college.
Yeah. But
That's not a rule.
We both moved out and moved back in. Then we both moved back out again. We've made it out.
Moved out and then we moved in with men who were really bad and then had to move home because of it.
A lot of kids move back in with their parents at certain stages of life.
No.
Did you like having us move back in?
Absolutely.
I knew it.
Yeah. You
Loved
miss
it.
us?
Yeah.
So much.
We're going to both move back in.
Yeah.
Now, y'all were threatening that the other day, and I was like, no, man, we're going to need a way bigger house.
Threatening.
Threatening. So did you like it? Okay, this is the story. It comes from the subreddit called True Off My Chest, which is a subreddit where basically you can speak freely on anything you want to. This is just off my chest. You're not looking for judgment. You just need a place to rant. And the title of the story is, I offered to let my mom live with me under the exact same terms I lived with her as a teen.
She already looked shocked.
So with rules,
Yeah.
curfews.
So this is how it goes. I don't know why in God's good name my mom thought I would be the one to come to. We don't get along. I went to live with Dad at 16 because she told me she hated me and kicked me out. My older brother, the golden child, I know for a fact has a spare bedroom that she could sleep in now that she's losing the house. My mom's situation is entirely her own fault as well, which makes this all the more annoying. She and my stepdad bought a 7-bedroom house 10 years ago, right after she left her job of 20 years to work at some stupid startup that was out of business only 3 days later. 3 years later.
Oh.
Wow.
3 days would be crazy.
Yeah, 3 days is crazy.
3 years later. My stepdad spent the last years of his miserable life bedbound because he ignored every doctor telling him to stop shoving his face full of food at every waking moment of the day.
So, what'd the doctor say? He said to stop shoving my face.
Yeah. So he died 500 pounds and in misery.
God.
I was more than fine with this, by the way. Well, when he died earlier this year, it pretty much drained the last of the money my moron of a mother had remaining, and now the bank's taking the house back. So she shows up at my door for some reason, after mistreating me since I was a kid and ignoring me unless she wanted something, since she married... I'm getting texts. I'm going to start over this part. So she shut up my door for some reason, after mistreating me since I was a kid and ignoring me with useless... Why can't I read?
I don't know. Mom, why can't she read?
So she shows up at my door. So she shows up at my door for some reason after mistreating me since I was a kid and ignoring me unless she wanted something since she married that thankfully dead land whale.
Well, that is a run-on sentence. It would be hard to land
I
that.
don't like the way these people write. She had the nerve to ask to live with me. It's only me and my husband and our 2-bedroom house, sure. But that spare bedroom is his office, the basement's my art studio, and the couch in front of the fireplace is for our lovely cats. There is no room for the wicked hag anywhere in this house.
Oh my gosh, she really hates her mom.
But I knew this opportunity would never come again, so I told her she could live with us, and only if she decided to follow the house rules. 1. All electronics were to be turned off by 6 p.m. If she was caught with any after that, they would be taken away and sold in the next yard sale. 2. Bedtime was 7:30. If I caught her up, I would take away all of her clothing for the week.
What? These are the rules this girl lived under?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
3, she may only shower for 5 minutes once every 3 days.
Oh, God.
4, all chores must be done the moment she wakes up. If I roll out of bed and they are not, she will not be getting meals for the day.
Her mom withheld food if she didn't clean her room, basically.
5, she must make sure she is alert at all times. If I and hubby need something done, it is to be done at that moment, or else she will lose her bedding privileges for the night. 6, she will be in charge of cooking one meal each day that I choose. If it is not made to my liking, she will not be allowed to join us and instead will eat the cheapest frozen meal available. 7, I will be reading all of her mail, text messages, and emails. I will give her the ones I deem acceptable communication under my roof. 8, her car will be my own personal travel car. She will also drive me wherever I want. She will have to pay for gas. And last but not least, if at any point she displeases me, I will be calling my brother to come pick her up from a nearby gas station. I will get to choose what she takes to put in a torn-up backpack before dropping her off without looking back. She called me a monster, told me these conditions were inhumane, and asked if I was insane. These were the exact conditions I lived under for years as a teenager. The exact conditions she tormented me with for years until she finally let me go live with the one parent that loved me. And these would be the conditions she would suffer under if she dared to ask me to home her worthless, joy-sucking soul.
Oh my God.
I don't know where she went after she stormed out of my house. My brother called me and told me I have the biggest balls in the family for the stunt I pulled. From the sounds of it, though, none of the spawn want the brood mother to live with them. I hope she finds a nice park bench to stay on.
What do you think, Mom?
That's the story.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. And it boggles the mind that the mother would ever approach this daughter and expect anything from her after the way she was treated. Like,
I don't know if this is a girl or a boy speaking. I don't know if it's a woman or a man.
They mention having a husband.
I think it's a female.
That's true. But that would be...
I was guessing it was a girl because she talks about the brother being the golden child, and it made me feel like it was a gender thing that the boy was
that makes sense.
treated better.
It's probably a girl if she has a husband.
Yeah, boys can't have husbands.
No, they can't.
But you know, the revenge of the daughter is also very unhealthy for her. You know, and the fact that she can't just say no, you can't live here. And then stop talking and offer no, justify, argue, defend, or explain. No is a complete sentence.
Well, there is something to be said about making a point. Like, the mom is like, all of these conditions are inhumane. Are you insane? She's like, these are the exact conditions you had me live under. It's almost like, you don't remember doing all of this to me? Let me spell it out for you. So you realize why asking me is a really stupid idea.
That's true. And, you know, it is a way to express probably things that have never been expressed. But
I bet the mom doesn't even remember half of these rules she made up for her daughter at that age.
Oh, clearly, because she acted surprised and thought it was insane. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one about only showering for 5 minutes once every 3 days is crazy. That's horrible for everyone in the house.
That is
Right?
horrible for everyone. I wonder if the brother had the same rules. Or if she was...
Yeah, because we know what brothers are doing in the shower.
Hey.
They only need 5 minutes, I guess.
No, it's probably longer. But maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so there is a comment here. Someone asks, did she recognize those terms or did you have to remind her where they came from? And OP, which is the original poster, goes, I'm sure she did. She reveals, I think they mean revels. She revels in the fact that she can remember petty arguments and mistakes from 30 years ago. She would never admit to it, though, because that would prove her that she was always a shitty mother in person. That would prove that she was always a shitty mother in person.
Okay.
This person needs to go back to school.
They're like so angry typing that they're shaking their hands over the keyboard. They
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, it sounds like this person has a lot of anger that I don't know if it's clear that they've worked through it. Because they're needing to rant about it on Reddit.
Yeah. It does look like they've been to therapy.
That's good. Did you have any crazy rules growing up in the house?
Not that I can recall that seemed insane, but I did think it was crazy when I was over 30 and I came home with my fiance, who I have now been married to for over 30 years. We were literally living together and engaged, and my parents would not let us sleep in the same room.
Yeah.
You
And I
let me
thought-
sleep in the same room with my boyfriend in high school.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, she was 16 and the boyfriend was in the room.
I was 17. at that
Okay,
point.
sorry.
Well, it's kind of
The
like
age of consent.
it's kind of hip. It's ridiculous, right? Because we know what you're doing, right? It's clear that you're sexually, engaged with this person. So
What?
why act like pretend like it's not happening, or why, why?
I was a virgin until last year, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the
Yeah,
sneaking
that's-
around stuff. I never wanted that to happen. Where you're like in the backseat of cars and random parking lots, or
We did that anyway.
She didn't want you to be loose or wild or horny in public.
Does
Just
it
do in
count
the
if it's
house.
only with one person, though?
I think it's pretty standard behavior for teenagers, and to act like and to try to force teenagers not to do it or to make it like this horrible thing is even more harmful.
Yeah, and probably
their
makes
sexuality.
them want, but probably pushes them to engage in more dangerous
act out even
behaviors.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you got raging hormones. Of course you're gonna do that stuff whether your parents tell you not to. You're gonna do it anyway, right? And especially if they tell you not to,
Yeah.
you're gonna do it.
I feel like when parents don't let their kids sleep with their significant others, it comes from like a very religious place of like, you might be doing whatever you're doing under your own roof, but under our roof, you're not supposed to do this until you're married. And I had a friend who had that too. When she would go visit her now in-laws, the guy's parents would make them sleep separately.
Out of respect for the parents. Because it's in their house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I get
it
that.
is a little bit ridiculous.
I think so.
And it's also like the place where you feel like less wanting to hook up because you don't want your parents to hear you.
Right?
Like, it's not a sexy thing to be in your parents' like childhood home
No.
with
not.
like your family sleeping in the next room. So
I don't know what you guys are talking about. That sounds amazing. No, it's
I can't remember any crazy rules we had growing up.
I remember you had a curfew.
Yeah, that
That's not
doesn't seem as
crazy.
crazy.
There was nothing really crazy. There's nothing that you wouldn't see in like any home in America.
That's true.
I did
Like
struggle
clean
with
your
y'all-
guns every night.
With you guys keeping your rooms clean, but I gave up on that one. I
Yeah.
totally gave up. And because a friend of mine said, you got to pick your battles, and what's the most important thing, And I thought, them feeling love and secure, and them having success in school, like, being able to learn and get through their education. And so to focus on that and not focus on the clutter and mess, because that was like a huge thing for me. You
Yeah.
know, I think I was raised that
It
way.
still is. I think you were when we both moved back in with you. I think you were upset when we didn't keep the bedroom clean.
I was
I
pretty
just
good.
closed the
You
door.
were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happened with you is that the room you moved into was just like this hodgepodge of stuff, like random furniture, and it wasn't a nice room anyway. And then so you were just in there, and it was not a great time in your life. You're kind of in the transitional kind of healing. What am I doing? trying to get over some stuff. and I just looked at you one day and I thought, you know, if the room she was in was beautiful and light, it would actually change the way she feels about herself. And I did the same thing with you. When you came back, we uncluttered, we went through things, we went in, I really believe that the space that you're in affects you emotionally in a huge way. Just like the clothes that are touching you, you know,
I really
like your
miss that
environment.
wardrobe.
If I had stayed longer when I moved in, maybe I could have gotten the room makeover.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I was there
I
for
didn't-
3
I didn't
years.
stay long enough to get one of those.
I was there for 3 years.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
but it literally changed. Wouldn't you agree? Like it changed your whole vibe.
Yes.